So just accept that it's here. Love that it's here. Embrace it. And then go play. Play with the truck. Have a good time. Play tennis. Work hard at work. Enjoy your relationships. But don't let them be judged. Don't let them be compared. Don't let them be a problem, causing pain, causing arguments, causing frustration. All those things are created. They're fake. You're making them up in your head.
Exactly.
The person you're with is the same as you. They're love and happiness.
Yeah. Exactly. So enjoy the journey. And when I understand the journey is if you are working on a project. No?
No, I'm fighting the journey.
It's
not the journey. The journey is completely unimportant.
Okay.
The journey has no meaning at all.
In what sense are you defining the journey? Because for me, journey is this podcast, this conversation right now. If we are in this, we are enjoying it right now.
We're just sharing. We're just sharing this moment together. The child is taught it's the destination.
Yes.
Get the grade, pass the test, run the race, win, succeed. Right up into early adulthood, what are we doing? Higher education.
Yes.
Get a good job. Join the corporation. Start your business. Go, go, go. It's the destination. And what happens? The vast majority of us fail. 90% of people who've set goals fail. That's the reality. So the entire society has said it's the destination.
Yes.
But 90% fail. What can be the answer to this? I've got an idea. It's the journey. The journey is the richness of life. The journey is the wisdom. The journey is the beauty. The journey is the happiness. And so we all go, oh, it's the journey. Oh, the wise people have spoken. Now I get it. It's the journey. And so what do? We go on a journey for 60 more years, trying to get somewhere, to the happiness. I say, no, it's always been the destination. And you were already there. The journey is just enjoying the ride. But we've made a journey a destination we're journeying to. And we have to work hard on that journey. I have a line I used to always say to everyone. It was, we all walk a hard road. We just wear different shoes.
Yes.
Like we're all on this journey, struggling and fighting. I now realize that's a massive mistake. We're on a journey of enjoyment and love and beauty and happiness. Just be that. The journey isn't a struggle. And we've taken the goal of success and attainment, attachment, possessions, things, my badge, my A grade, my ribbon, my gold star, and said, that's what you're journeying for. You're getting these things. You're crossing new steps. You're reaching new heights. What a fabulous journey. It's terrible. There's no reason.
I'm thrilled to introduce my today's esteemed guest, Belinda Mays.
The journey is to be the happy, beautiful, loving human being that you are. That's the journey. The journey is being in that each day. Not getting somewhere. I'm not getting anywhere. We're all going to the same place. We're all going to the same place in a different time. There's nothing to go to. There is everything to be.
So it's
Have
to
fun.
be, yes, to be that, fulfilled human being, but also approach everything, every task, every day from a curious point of view.
Absolutely. Hey, learning and growing and changing is wonderful. But you don't attach to that as the meaning of your life. You already are everything you will ever need. All those things, growing, learning, growing up, getting more wisdom, are just great steps along the journey, but they don't mean you are suddenly different. You're not. The 6-month-old baby is the same as the 99-year-old person dying. They are the same person. All the wisdom, the journey, the learning in between is just for enjoyment. You're not going to end up a better death because you were smart. Dumber people die worse than you, do they? Is there some grading? Were you born better than someone else, or were you just born? There is nothing here to weigh and measure. That weighing and measuring of the journey of the learning and growing and changing and loving in our daily life is just the fun of doing it. It's not a measure of doing it. You're not better because you journeyed all the way to be a PhD. That doesn't make you better. It's just a journey you took. You decided to play tennis. I decided to lie on the couch. You're not better than me. It's a different journey. We're not attaching to the journey. We're not attaching to the milestone. We're not attaching to the receiving of even wisdom, because it has no bearing. You're more wise than me. You will die the same as me. You can have all the possessions. You're going to die the same as me. We were born the same. It's only by luck and circumstances that I was born in a rich country with the ability of an easy education, health care, all these wonderful things. That's just by luck, just by chance. I'm not better because of it. You're not worse if you didn't get it.
Yes. So
we're
be
constantly
fair?
Focusing on stuff.
Yes.
It's not about the stuff. The stuff is for play, for fun. The truck was just for playing within a sandbox. It didn't mean the play was better or worse because of the truck.
It was for the experience, the me being me, and then discovering or trying to get to know what it feels like playing with that truck as a child, or, playing in a corporate world with other people working on this project. What does that feel like? Doing this podcast, trying to experience and feel the feeling.
Yes.
That's all it is.
But all the feeling you're trying to feel is we feel good about it. When you come away from a conversation and I sit down and go, wow, that was great. I really enjoyed that. That's what it was for. And you can walk away from a conversation and go, it was really uncomfortable. It was really difficult. Well, what's that? That's an expectation you had without even verbalizing it, that you want it to be good. And as soon as you've done that and it doesn't reach your expectation, it was an uncomfortable conversation. It was difficult. But you can be difficult in a conversation. And if I am just accepting you and not judging you in my mind, then it just is. And it flows anyway. And it's still a great conversation to me because I didn't judge you. I didn't compare you to the last person I spoke with. I didn't compare you to what I think will happen with the next person. I was just there. I just allowed it to happen. I didn't judge that you had 4 trucks and I only had 1. I judged that you're having fun doing what you do and I'm having fun. And we're just sharing fun.
You had
it doesn't have to be anymore.
Yes. As love, as complete being and entity, you held that space for me or anyone for that matter to express themselves the way they wanted to express in that specific moment.
Right. Be who you are.
Being who you are.
You don't determine me.
Yes.
So why would I be upset about who you are? Now, of course, we have boundaries.
Yes.
You can't reach out and slap me in the face just because you feel like it.
Yeah.
There's a boundary.
Exactly.
But in general, people don't do that.
Yes.
In general, human beings are cooperative. We get along.
True.
The society wouldn't function at all if we didn't voluntarily get along with one another.
True.
And yet you go on social media and you'd think we hate each other's guts.
Mm.
All we're doing is judging and comparing and shouting our opinions out into the world.
Yes.
About what's wrong with other people. Always out there blaming, pointing our fingers. This is the madness. This is the disease of not accepting yourself, of detaching from everything out there. None of that stuff means anything. We think the world's going to end because we elected this person today. And tomorrow I'll wake up and, oh, the sun came out. Oh, I still have to get changed and I still have to eat food. What's really changed? Oh, nothing's changed. Why do I think everything's changed? What is this about? I'm inventing it in my mind. My story tells me this. The world story is shouting at me. What's wrong? What's wrong? What's wrong? It's not yelling what's right. The world doesn't yell at me, you're beautiful, you're lovely, and everything's fine. Calm down, enjoy the ride. Nothing's important. It would never say that.
Yeah.
It doesn't want people to believe that.
Mm.
You wouldn't play the game if you believed that. Because if we collectively all knew it was just about happiness, peace, love, and joy, we would simply work together to make sure there was food to feed everyone. There was a home for everyone to live in.
Yes.
Everyone was clothed, and we would enjoy each other. And that would be the end of the story.
Mm.
There would be no story because we would just be who we're supposed to be. So the world doesn't want you to find this happiness until you've played the game.
Yes.
You have to participate like everyone else and be afraid and upset and angry and have your moments of victory and happiness, but not too many, because you're going to get the real show when you get to the end. When you get to retire and relax and be happy.
So the cosmos is almost like, having those chaotic moments and the chaos to keep the drama going, to have this stage, keep the stage interesting for everyone. Because as you said, if everything was good, everything was great, we would lose our interest in this play. Isn't that?
I don't think it's an interest in the play. It's an identification with ourselves.
Okay.
See, I say to people, your story is who you identify as.
Yes.
I, Ansa, am this story of my history, everything I've gone through, everything that's happened to me, all the difficulties, the struggle, the pain, all those things are who I am. And I say to people, the healing is not to fix what happened in the past. It's not to fix your trauma or fix anything that's gone wrong. It's to leave it. Okay. Let go of it. Walk away from it. Have no history. Have no story. What? No story? Who would I be?
Yes.
That's the
That's
first
my
thing
identity. That is
That's
my
identity.
Yes.
There you go. That's the trap. Why do you need an identity? You already are this peaceful, loving, beautiful human being. That's your identity. Not the story you're covering it up with. Yes. Not the drama you're believing. Not the movie you want to be the star in. This is the illusion. So don't have a story. Yes. Why have a story? What for? The only moment we are alive is right here, right now.
Right now.
You and I are living right now together in a space together, sharing ourselves. Yes. That's all we're doing. And that's all you're ever going to do. 5 minutes after I'm gone, you will be sharing yourself with something else. Maybe with feeding yourself, looking after a child, back on a phone call, another meeting to go to. You're just going to be in the moment sharing it. Yes. Who cares if you have a story? It's who you are, not who you were in some story that you believe is you, you identify as you. So why carry it? Especially when it's full of this emotional baggage that weighs you down. It frustrates you and tires you out. People have problems in their life. What is a problem? What is it?
What is it?
When I was a child, a problem was, tell me what 2 plus 2 means. It's called a math problem. And I was educated to find the solution, to understand 2 and 2 added up to something. That was a problem.
Mm-hmm.
Ask an adult what a problem is, and it's covered in baggage of concern, worry, anxiety. This is what problems are. Do you have problems? Oh man, do I have problems? Oh, I could tell you stories. Why have we created problems in that way? They're not real. No one has a problem. You have a situation that you have to deal with.
Mm.
That's all. And you can either deal with it or not deal with it. But it's not a problem. It's not something to be worried about or anxious about or feel any sort of suffering and frustration around. That's creation. That's your story mind creating something now that doesn't exist. Belief again. We believe this is who we are, so we have to be who we think we are. And so we bring this story with us. And now it's a problem that bothers me, not a situation that I just deal with.
So how do we work with this story mind?
We don't. We leave it.
We leave it.
You walk away. What goes on in your mind? Every minute you're having thoughts.
Yes.
They arise in your mind. You don't even ask for them. Constant chatter in your head all day long. That's the story mind. But you have a toolbox mind.
Okay.
The toolbox is the experiences that you have kept as skills, techniques, the math problems you learned, the basic science you might understand, all these things that you use in your day to live, to feed yourself, to clothe yourself, to work around your house, to go to a job, drive a car. These are all skills and tools, all learned in memory from your story, but they're not the story mind. They are the toolbox mind, the actual use. I call that thinking. The toolbox mind isn't thinking, it's thoughts. You can be a thinker. Are you a thoughter? Have you been thoughting lately? No one thoughts. No one practices thoughting. Thoughts just arise. They arise from the story mind, yours, and the culture around you.
Mm-hmm.
They just keep flipping up in your head. The problem is I drop a coffee mug and it hits the floor and boom, blows into a million pieces. And the thought, the chatter, the voice, the ego, the deceiver shows up in the back of my mind and from my story says, you dummy, you idiot, you dropped the cup. You're such a bonehead. What a failure. What a dummy. Well, what is that? I don't think that. I don't choose to say that to myself, to beat myself up. That is from the story mind. That's the emotional baggage presenting itself to keep you there, to keep you identified as that. Even though you know, you can rationally look at that afterward and go, think rationally. Yeah, that's silly. Why do I do that to myself? This is the game we're stuck in. We have this thinking, rational, logical mind of experience and understanding and wisdom, all these good tools we all possess. And so often we live our lives sleepy,
Yes.
sleepwalking in habit and routine that is easy, comfortable, but allows the story mind to be the driver. And we do things by thoughts.
Yes.
Oh, I'm hungry. I think I'll grab some chips and a soda pop. That's just a thought. If I was thinking with the toolbox, it would go, chips and soda pop isn't the best idea for you. You might want to choose a better food. And so when we live in the story mind and we're relaxed and controlled by the ego, by this delusion, we do crappy things. We eat garbage food all day and wonder why we get unhealthy. We don't go for the walk because the thinking mind says, you know, you should go for a walk. It'd be great out there. And the ego shows up and goes, yeah, but you know that movie you wanted to see? You can sit down and watch that, you know.
Mm.
And you're not consciously saying it, but it's saying it in your head somewhere. And you might go, yeah, I think I'll sit down and, I'll go for a walk tomorrow.
Mm.
I would say for years, I was the gonna monster. I'm going to go to the gym. I'm going to start a business. I'm going to be a better husband. I'm going to be a better father. I'm going to stop drinking. Gonna. Why not? Because the story mind said, yeah, you are gonna, but not today. Not right now. Procrastination, putting things off. Tomorrow. It's raining. I don't think I'll go for a walk. That's the story mind. The thinking mind knows it doesn't matter. What's weather got to do with it?
Mm.
In fact, some of the best walks you'll ever have in nature is when it's stormy and blowing and raining, and you get back home and you go, wow, that was fabulous. I just feel so great.
Exactly.
You feel so alive. You feel wonderful inside.
True.
The story mind went, don't go. It's raining. It's cold. Yeah. What do you want to do that for? Stay here on the couch. It's warm. YouTube's right there. This is the battle. And the battle is about being awake.
Mm.
I have a sticky note on my TV. It says, get off your ass. Because it knows I'm watching the TV. And it knows I need to get off my butt. I have a sticky note on the fridge. And it says, what are you going to put in your mouth?
Mm.
It's to wake me up. To make me present and not be in that sleepy story mind.
Yes.
Because in the sleepy mind, I'll grab the Doritos and I'll grab the juice or whatever. But in the wakened state, I make a real choice that's for me, that's good for me.
Exactly. So living in the conscious is the answer. But it's still bugging me, the earlier example that you gave about the coffee mug dropping on the floor and making a mess. What would you tell your conscious mind in that situation and not let the story mind take hold of that situation and make you feel bad about yourself? What would you do in that situation?
This is a difficult practice, but everyone, I think, needs to put themselves in this practice. And that is to observe your thoughts.
Mm.
Not accept your thoughts, observe them. And you observe them. You see, when we get that thought that says, you dummy for dropping the cup, the reason it behaves that way and is allowed to yell at me, abuse me, is because I attach to the thought. I see the thought in my head and I go, that's me. That dummy that dropped the cup, that's who I am. I associate, I attach, I identify with the thought.
Exactly.
The reality is, if you can be aware and present and be sitting there and have a thought come up in your head that is a negative thought, that is not the thought you need. If you don't put your attention on it, if you just go, oh, look, a cloud's passing by, a beautiful blue sky. It'll be gone in a minute. And it does, it dissolves. It evaporates. It loses all its strength because you didn't take ownership of the thought. You just ignored it and let it go by. Or as I found for myself, the best tool was to laugh at it. When I dropped the cup, I started laughing at myself right away for not paying attention and being silly and dropping the cup. Not I was stupid, I was dumb, and I'm an idiot. That is so funny. I can't believe I do these silly things. And it destroys the negative. It completely dissolves it because it needs you to believe you're a dummy if it's telling you you're a dummy, or it can't exist. You don't let friends talk to you like that. What do? You ignore them and you walk away.
Yes.
Do the same thing with a negative thought. And what happens to it? It dissolves. it loses all its power. And if you do this over time, fewer and fewer thoughts start arising like that. And you think more. Being present means you're thinking. Being unpresent and subconscious means you're thoughting.
Yes. And also how we give meanings to certain things and certain actions, right?
Yeah.
Let's say somebody is calling you when you were young and you made a mistake, or even at any time in, any stage of your age, they are, let's say, using some bad words, they are cursing you in their language, the language that you don't understand. Would you feel anything? That person cursing you or saying or bad mouthing you or doing anything? No. But because we give certain meanings and attach certain meanings to certain words, let's say the word dummy, right? Somebody told you or said word dummy to you when you were young, not you, but I'm saying in general,
Oh no, me. It's me.
right? They said that you are a dummy and you associated a negative connotation to that word dummy. Now, every time you do something that you don't like, and the thought arises that, oh, you dummy, you did that again, and you start feeling dummy because you have associated and attached that meaning, negative meaning to that word dummy.
Absolutely. For years, I did exactly that because I had teachers in school tell me, you're stupid over and over again. Until when I got older, if someone used the word stupid anywhere near me, I would almost explode into a rage because I was so angry that they had hurt me and told me I was stupid. That if you said I was stupid, I would hate you for it. So that's that attachment that I end up not liking you. I'm blaming you for something that I'm just believing, that I have attached to in myself. So when that little cloud bursts in my head and says, you're stupid, all that rage and fear and anger, boom, explode because I'm attaching to it. So I can attach to someone in a conversation saying something that triggers my attachment that is nasty for me.
Yes.
And I end up angry at that person. It has nothing to do with them because that's their language. It didn't mean it was me.
Exactly.
I grab it like the thought or what you say. It's my choice to grab hold of it, associate myself to it, identify as it, and all the feelings rush in and the damage is done. If I don't attach to you, if I don't associate you as being this power that can hurt me,
yes,
then you can't. It doesn't happen.
Absolutely.
If I don't associate and grab onto the thought in my head that can hurt me, it can't. And it doesn't happen. It's no different. I'm simply not believing in you having any power over me or the thought having power over me. So I disbelieve my story and all the baggage has no meaning. But you have to practice this. You're 50 years old. You've practiced all those memories a million times. You've played the movie over and over again to support who you are. If I want to change who I am by disbelieving, I have to stop watching the movie. It's simple as that. 75% of your life, Ansa, you can't remember right now.
No.
Our memories, we don't have the room for 75% of everything that happens to us in our life. We can't remember.
Yeah.
So if we have this mental ability to not remember, could I exercise it against what I do remember? Yes, I can.
Absolutely.
The reason you don't remember 75% is because you don't play the movie over of every little event. What you had for breakfast 15 years ago on a Tuesday morning is not an event you've played over and over, so you don't remember it. So the movie I'm playing over and over, if it's not supporting me, I stop going to the theater. I stop being the lead actor in my movie. I look at my script and go, I'm not following that script. That script doesn't work. I've been doing it for years and look at the mess I've got. So forget the script, forget the movie, get off the stage. It doesn't do it. We don't have to believe it. We don't have to be that person we associate ourselves as. There's no such thing as that person because you are this person.
Mm.
You're not that.
We are changing every single moment of our
Yeah.
living life, but at the same time, we choose whether it's a miserable movie of our past, somebody did something to us, some relatives, our friends, our siblings, our parents. We keep going back to remember that movie, to keep it fresh, so we can continue feel that misery, and we feel bad about.
You've had a tragic episode in your life years ago.
Yes.
You've had a horrible pain to live through.
Mm.
You could use that pain and look at that movie every day of your life over and over. And what would you be? You'd be a wreck.
Yes.
You'd be living in that soup, in that pot, stewing, hurting,
True.
feeling everything about it. It would be as real can be because you're in it.
Yes.
The only reason you're not is because you don't play it over and over. It's still a reality that happened.
Yes.
But you have a rational mind that knows it's not happening now. I'm not in it now. I don't have to return to that story. And the less I return to it, the more it fades, the less power it has, the less control it exerts on your life. That's the reality. You leave the story or the parts of the story. Because the good parts of your story is what I call the toolbox mind. The things we keep that we use, the great moments, the beautiful moments, the happy moments, and all the skills and tools of operating in life. We keep those. They're great. We practice them. But these bits of the movie that are pain and suffering have no reason for being. Our memories weren't even created to keep them. That's why we don't keep 75%. Our mind says there's a lot of junk here you don't need.
Yeah.
That's junk. But the ego attaches to it and says, this is important. And it's not.
And that is the real meaning of taking control back, taking your power back, because you choose, you get to decide what movie I keep playing over and over and which movie needs to be deleted and let go of.
Yes,
People
ma'am.
people give all kind of definitions, but it's very vague, like take your control back. But how? In every single moment, that is how you take your control and your power back.
This is I think, the huge failure with personal development.
Yes.
And this whole massive industry, setting goals and then being disciplined and working hard every day on all these steps. And then, 100 years of self-discipline, the whole community of personal development. And still, it's a massive failure rate.
Yes.
Why is it a massive failure rate? Why do so many people quit at the gym because they can't do it, can't stick to the diet, can't reach the goal? The New Year's resolution is gone in a month or two.
Yeah.
Why? Because we're trying to create this new skill set, this new belief, and we're putting it on top of the story that we really believe.
Yes.
So while my rational toolbox says, I want to reach this goal, I need to use all my tools and work hard and be disciplined, the story mind comes up and goes, you can't do it. You're not good enough. You're not strong enough. You don't want to really do it. And that voice comes up. And so we don't reach our goal. We give up. We walk away. And in walking away, we reinforce that we can't reach the goal. And we're in a tragic loop that not reaching the goal supports the real goal of our story that says we can't reach the goal. See, you just proved yourself right. There's almost a benefit in failing because it supports the story you actually identify yourself as. So you have to leave the story to reach the goal. You can't fix yourself from the story. because that's the problem. You can't see yourself inside the story because you already have an image of who you are. So you're not seeing anything. So we have foresight, hindsight, insight, so much sight we can't see. We've got so much information we don't know, because this story is holding us in the real beliefs that are down in the basement, foundations in the building blocks. We think we can paint the walls, add a room, put in a skylight, and everything will be better. But the same foundation is there. We didn't do anything about it. And you can't take the foundation out or the house will fall down. You have to leave. The house is done. You have to leave the house. You can't fix it. It's an old car that you've loved for 20 years. You have memories with your car, trips you've taken. You love your car. You may even name your car. Some people do.
Yeah.
They're attached to the car, a possession.
Mm-hmm.
But the car starts to get old and break down. And what do? We end up coming to the realization the car can't be fixed anymore. There's no healing the disease the car has. And my only solution is to leave the car at the side of the road and walk away, go get a new car.
Mm.
Well, that's your story. Your story is diseased. It is causing suffering and pain. You can't keep with the story. You've got to leave it. You're not going to fix it. You're not going to heal it. You change, you leave, you drop the story.
And I tried to put a new story. Sorry, and you write a new story?
Oh, that's one aspect of it. But you don't write a story as an attachment.
Mm.
You write a story of being. What is Ansa being today? Today, she's talking with Dallas for an hour and a half. Then she's going for a walk. Then she's making a meal. Then she's checking on a loved one. She is being her life. There is no story to the being. You just are. A story is something we have to attach to. The belief, the religion, the philosophy, the mission, the goal. Those are stories. And when we make them the meaning of our life, all the problems are there.
Mm.
When you live your life in this day and enjoy your day and all the things you're doing, and at night you lay your head on the pillow and go, that was a great day. It was productive. I learned some things. I really had a good day. Then you sleep beautifully too. Because what's in your head, you take to your bed. If you're taking a story to bed, you're taking a struggle to bed. And people can't sleep.
Mm.
It infects everything in your life. And we think we're going to fix it by working harder, by having some destination we're going to get to and we're going to win. The destination, you're already there.
Yes.
It's always here. Accept it.
That is real empowerment and real living, real happy, content, and complete in this present moment, because all we have is this present moment.
What a superpower.
What a superpower.
What a superpower. All I have to do is 16 hours.
Mm.
That's all I have. If I sleep 8 hours, a day is 24. I have 16 hours of actually conscious living.
Yes.
That's all I'll ever have. You only get one day. The magic, the gift, is you wake up tomorrow morning and what do you get? You get a day.
Yes.
I talk to people that are elderly and talk about, oh, I'm out of time. Life went by so fast. Their struggle, their pain. And I think, really? I got all day. It's everything.
Yeah.
The whole world is here just today.
Yes.
All my love, all my beauty, all my experience, the taste of food, the air, walk outside, my work, everything happens right here in 16 hours. So The goal, the mission, is just to make the 16 hours the best I can. Make them happy and beautiful. Treat people with your happiness and your beauty. Work hard because it fulfills you. It's satisfying. You give your best.
Yes.
What a beautiful day. And you only have to do it for 16 hours. I only have to eat well today.
Yes.
I only have to exercise once today. I only have to tell my kids I love them today. It's just today. That's all you have. Only 16 hours. You can't do it for 16 hours? Of course we can. And tomorrow, the gift arrives again. You get 16 hours.
Receive the gift of life tomorrow again and celebrate it and enjoy it. My God, what a beautiful way of living your life on day-to-day basis.
And understand that 16 hours is today. It's now. It's never tomorrow. Because tomorrow is an attachment.
Yes.
That's what puts today off.
Yes.
That's what is time. When you say, tomorrow I'm gonna, you've just detached from your life. Because your life isn't tomorrow, it's now. I say to people, you're not gonna do anything tomorrow. You're doing it now. You don't do anything in the past. You're doing it now. There is no other place. So never say, tomorrow I'm gonna. Because you're here. Your gonna is now. This is it. This is all you get.
Yes.
And it's everything. Everything is right here. You won.
Yes.
You succeeded. You are the champion. You are the most important person in the world. This is it. How could it not be the most fun, exciting, beautiful experience? This is it.
And if you take care of your today right, your tomorrow automatically will be right. You
Of
don't have
course.
to worry about tomorrow. You don't have to plan as hard for tomorrow because you are doing everything, giving your 100%, doing with complete passion and joy and happiness. Tomorrow is going to take care of itself. You don't have to worry about that.
And that you're exposing the flaw in goals and dreams for the future. It's so humanly natural to have wishes and desires and goals and dreams, and they're good because they're motivating.
Yes.
But they're motivating not for when you get there. That's an attachment. They're motivating for how you work right now, today. You are the goal in the moment that you're acting in the goal. You will not get somewhere. It's not a when I win, when I achieve, because that's putting off your happiness, your beauty, your love, that you think you'll get it when you get there. No, have the goal. Let it be the motivation for the work you do now, today. My goal is to have loving, beautiful children. Well, then treat them as loving, beautiful children today. And the goal will happen on its own. When we think we control the outcome by waiting to get to the goal, that's the whole problem.
Yes.
You're removing yourself. It's about you, not about the goal.
Yes. And you are teaching yourself the habit of, continue to wait for something bigger and better all the time.
Right. As if you're going to get something.
Yes.
You're not getting anything. You are something.
Yes.
I said, the trick, be no thing. Be nothing. You are nothing. Because we're attached to things. Something. I want to own this thing. I want to reach this thing. I want to achieve this thing. Be no thing. It means don't attach to a thing. You are. Use the things for fun, for enjoyment, for motivation. But they are not the reason you are.
Mm.
No one else can do the work. No one else can live the day. Not your children, not your pets, not anything you own. It's just you. Everything else is a figment we make up in our minds. Everything else. We attach to these things. They're not real. You are. I am. They are. Everyone is.
Mm.
Accept yourself. Accept this life. Don't fight it by trying to get somewhere. Don't fight it by where you've been and you think is bad. Those are all struggles of the mind that aren't real.
Right, right. This is so deep. My God, I have a million questions running through my mind right now.
My
So,
face hurts. I smile and laugh so much because it's just so simple and loving and beautiful. And, part of me is just, God, the only reason I'm here, I just want to share this, that everyone has this. No, I'm not special. I didn't find something special. It was always there.
mm,
I just uncovered it. I just took away yesterday and tomorrow and the worries and concerns around it. I took away the story. And what happened? Holy crap, there are no clouds. There's never a cloud. It's always a blue sky and sunshine.
so how did that happen for you, Dallas? Please tell me like a brief snapshot of how did you reach to your real self?
My emotional baggage made me an alcoholic. It gave me cancer. It meant I lost my wife, my home, my business, my family. It took me to the edge of suicide. And when I got there, a door opened. I didn't ask for the door. I don't know what that meant. You could say God, the universe, consciousness. It happened. For me, a man on a podcast talking about consciousness. I'm making dinner, not really paying attention, just a story mind, background noise. And I heard him say something, and it shook my entire life. He said, "Show me yesterday." That was all.
Hmm.
And my mind went, "What do you mean, show me yesterday? I am yesterday. My whole life is my story, my history. This whole mess I've just gone through, this edge of suicide is my story. It's everything." He questioned me by saying, "Show me yesterday." What that said in my rational mind jumped to life and said, "Yeah, show me. Is it real? Is it tangible? Why has it destroyed your life if it's not real?" So I had to ask the question, what if it's not? What if it's only something I've believed? And that loop ran in my head for probably 3 months. Just that questioning. What if my beliefs aren't the truth? What if my story does not speak the truth to me? What if everything I've been through is just because I believed a story? I could believe the three bears, Santa Claus. They're all stories. Why is my life any different than just a story that I have acted out from a script that I've believed from my past? That ran in my head for 3 months. And literally, I'm pulling weeds in the garden one day, and I started laughing. I had no idea what I was laughing about. I just started laughing, giggling. Everything in my being was just funny. And I can remember no sounds, no experience of the world around me. I was just there laughing. And literally for weeks, I was questioning my sanity. I thought maybe I was losing my mind. I was. I was losing my story mind. I was leaving that belief and realizing this happiness, this awareness, this attention to living right now, and that's all there is. There is no hurt, trauma, story, fear, uncomfortable feeling, problem, anxiety. They don't exist. It was just so obvious to me. And all I had was this. I couldn't stop laughing. It's been over a year now. I literally giggle as I fall asleep, and I giggle as I wake up in the morning. Every single day. Every day of my life, I'm constantly met with this ongoing realization. There's no trouble. There's no problem. Because I don't accept it. I don't grab it. I don't say this is mine. Nothing is mine. I don't own a possession anymore. There are things in my house. I drive a car, but none of it means, none of it associates, none of it is attached to who I am. I just dropped it all. I didn't quit. I didn't find a way to fight back and stop being an alcoholic. I just walked away. When it happened, it happened. It ended. Because I wasn't attached anymore. I didn't have a reason to be drunk. Because I didn't have the pain I was trying to medicate. If I wasn't hurt, I didn't have to heal. I just left it. It's gone. It's magical. And every single person lives this close to it. Every moment of their life, they're brushing right up beside it. Every single person has had a moment, stand on a beach, and the sound of the ocean, of the Mother Earth breathing, its breath, the mist in the air. And for a moment, your brain will just be, wow. That's the moment. That's just being. You're not judging the wave. You're not judging the beach. You're not comparing it to something else. You're just taking it in, accepting it, being a part of that life, being a part of God, the nature, the universe. You're just in it. Everyone has experienced those moments. Sometimes they're fleeting, just a second, just a moment, but that's it. You're brushing up against something that's there 24/7. What you are, not who you think you are, what you truly are. So our struggle now, from this moment forward, for your listeners, for all of us, is to begin to say, what if? To look at your story and say, what if I have beliefs I'm attached to that aren't me? They are controlling me because I have given my power to them. My empowerment is detaching and understanding I am whole. There's nothing broken. There's no knowledge I need. We already have it. Skills and tools anyone can pick up. I can start tomorrow and start a new job. I can go back to university. I can do anything I want. Because nothing is needed. So I'm free. I'm not constrained. Our whole life is about constraints that puts pressure on us, and we feel stress. It's tangible pressure. We feel it in our guts. But it's created. It's mental.
Detachment. This is what I get. The message is detachment. Detachment from your own past stories and detachment from other people, who are in your life and they have done something to you that you think has hurt you. Forget those stories as well. because you don't
Yeah.
want to keep repeating those stories of those people, your loved ones in your life who made a mistake in that moment, whatever they were going through, and you keep repeating those stories to them and to yourself, and you keep hurting yourself.
Replaying the movie over and over.
Playing the movie.
And, and it's a great point you just made, because when I was a child, somebody beat me up, an adult, physically punched me, kicked me. And so for years, that's a trauma. I blamed them for hurting me. And now I see it. They were the trauma, not the event. Their pain was pushed in me, not my pain. I took their pain. They were the one hurting and struggling, not me.
Yes.
I received their pain.
Yes.
In a rational, grown-up human, I can say that and say, oh, that's not me. It's nothing about me. I just happened to be the victim. I was in the way. The child can't do it.
Mm.
I'm not rational to be able to see that. All I see is I am hurt.
Mm.
Now I see I wasn't hurt. I just received their pain. They're the one that's hurt. They're the one with the trauma,
True.
not me. So my compassion for their pain means I don't have the trauma. Therefore, I don't have to carry the bag with me. I don't have to return to that movie because it's not me. It's a story I believed that wasn't true.
Yes.
And I attached myself to the story. I associated me with the story as being a part of who I am, actually a piece of me.
Yes.
And we carry the trauma. We actually look after it.
Yes.
We care for it.
Yes.
We keep it as our story because it means something. And the reality is it doesn't. We've been fooled. It was their story, their pain. We only accepted it. I don't have to accept it.
Right.
The story lied to me. I've been fooled for years, believing that story. So that compassion for the other is a release of the pain you believe was directed at you. It wasn't directed at you. Any person could have been there in that position. Every woman who's abused by their husband, they are simply there. It's not them being abused. It's the husband's pain being pushed out because he wants to get rid of it. And he doesn't know how.
Yes.
And he thinks he can express it and get rid of it.
Yes.
Of course he can't. He has to leave his own pain, not give it to others. And this is how we transfer trauma on and on through generations. Because we haven't understood it's not mine. I'm giving something to someone else that wasn't mine to give. You're accepting it, and it's not yours to accept. We take ownership of this attached feeling, this emotion, this pain. We take ownership by our own acceptance. The person who hit me can't force me to take the pain. They're just dishing it out. They're not giving it to me. I am taking it. I'm the one. So when we see this, if we have compassion for the other, we detach from what the meaning really was. It wasn't about me. I was fooled. Yes. I thought it was all about me. And because I thought it was all about me, I blame everyone. My responsibility is not that it did or didn't happen. I have no ability to change that. My responsibility is to not stay with the ownership.
Yes.
Put the bag down. It's not yours. You've been fooled into believing you have to carry it. And now we have a whole medical system and therapy. All of them saying you've been wounded. It's so deep in your psyche. You're in this terrible place. It's not.
Yes.
It's just a belief.
Absolutely.
It's just a story.
Story.
That's all it is.
Exactly.
And it's hard to say to people because they often come to me and go, "You're blaming the victim. You're telling me I'm responsible." It's not blame, it is responsibility.
Mm.
You're responsible for carrying the pain,
Yes.
not for the pain. I'm not blaming you for the pain because that was a reality of that moment. I'm blaming you for carrying it. That's the responsibility you have to take by understanding the falseness of its reality that you carry, believing the story that it's true. That's what we're responsible for. We're responsible for us and who we really are, not for the story we believe we are.
Absolutely. We are responsible for who we are in this moment, right? If once we understand this truth, exactly what you said, I 100% agree with you that we are responsible because we have been carrying that baggage of that hurt, that story with us. Definitely, we couldn't do anything about it when that happened. Why that happened, that's a complete different topic here, right?
Yes,
But
yes.
if you are hurting after 20 years or 10 years or 40 years of your life, that is definitely on you. You are choosing to have that story with you to continue to hurt yourself after 40 years.
You're replaying the movie. You're keeping
Replaying.
it alive. You are feeding the trauma to keep it alive.
Exactly, because
Because if you stop
energy,
feeding it, if you stop watching the movie, it starts to fade. And pretty
absolutely.
soon it doesn't come up in your mind as often.
Yes,
It comes up more rarely. It starts to get further away from you only because you're not visiting it. You're not feeding it. You're not keeping it alive.
exactly. It dies because you are not giving it attention because your energy, your attention is the currency that this story or this movie uses,
It
to hurt
thrives on it.
you.
That's your ego. That's the deception of the story mind. It thrives on you feeding it by
Exactly.
replaying it, by believing in it, by attaching to it,
Yes.
just as things do, just as possessions will do. That's why people will get upset about their possessions
Mm,
or think they'll be happy when they get a new possession
yes.
because they're doing everything outside the trauma that happened to me, the thing I'm going to achieve. Everything is out there somewhere and it will make us happy,
Mm.
loving, beautiful, calm, happy. When the reality is, it'll never do it because we already are. Those things are covering it up.
And I also believe, like, how do we know that, what we want if we already haven't experienced it? So we were born that way, we have tasted that feeling of fullness, of completeness, that unconditional love already. Only then we can go after and finding more of it outside in the world. So we must be so foolish to think that, okay, I know this feeling, but it's somewhere outside. No, when you were born, it was with you, it was inside of you. And even before you were born, if you do that work and you're coming from the spiritual understanding, you would know that you are love on the other side. When you come here in this side, you have a veil, you forget about that past because you want to experience and live here in the moment.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know what to say to you. Yes, I agree.
Hmm,
Be here.
being here in the moment.
It's
Live.
it's I can be happy and I like driving cars.
Hmm.
I get a real excitement of driving cars. I like race
Oh,
cars.
me too.
Um, the car doesn't make me happy. I share my happiness in the car, right? It is me. The car isn't making me happy. I'm just placing the enjoyment in.
Oops, got stuck. Wow. Maybe it's a signal that we have gone too long. I know it was just 1 hour, but okay,
Oh,
you're back. Sorry. My goodness, Dallas, this is it's so good that it's crazy. I
yeah,
mean,
exactly.
it's
Exactly.
so good that it's crazy. I have never ever gone, above so long for recording any conversation. I have to publish it maybe in 2 episodes, but I just can't stop. I can't stop. Please
You're right.
continue.
You can't stop because that's what you are.
Hmm.
You can't stop. You can stop everything else. Everything else dies in your life and changes all the time. Things you liked to do 20 years ago, you might not be doing now. Everything changes and dies and goes away, but you don't. That love and happiness we keep speaking of is always there.
Yes.
It doesn't age, it doesn't grow old. Looking into that baby's face and feeling that feeling that's reflection of you, your real you, is there when you're 99 years old. It didn't age, it doesn't change, it has no age. It's only the story that has age because things come and go. We struggle and fight and we go through these things. We're on this journey, as we've talked about. That's time, change, struggle. But that being, who we are, what we are, is always there.
Yes.
Same at birth, same at death. It's just the love and happiness.
Now, let's give this talk a closure. And
Okay.
I would love for you to leave this conversation for our audience with a message, with an advice that you would like for them to take away from this conversation at the end of this entire journey, this entire beautiful, powerful talk that we had, and the moments of awareness. What would you say to our audience?
Okay. Here's an actual thing you could do. Do you own one of these? Do you own a phone? You probably do. Do you know it can make a movie? Do you know it can record? Make a video of yourself. Put that phone on yourself, alone, privately, and tell your story. From your earliest memory, tell every piece you can remember into your phone and record it. And then play it back. And when you play it back, try and pretend you're a friend watching it and analyzing that movie, that story. You will begin to see things, if you get it all down, that don't seem consistent or seem to be not quite right. Those are the what ifs. Make your own story, put it on film so you can see it from a distance, because that's your mind showing itself when you tell that story. So it's a great first step to begin to critique your story as a movie, not as who you are. Observe your story, and you will begin to see cracks and breaks, maybe things I don't have to believe. The first step, what if? What if my story isn't true? What if I'm believing things that hurt me? What if I don't have to? What if?
Beautiful, powerful. And on the very last moment, how people can reach and connect with you.
Well, we live in a digital age. I can't hide. If you have my name, you're going to find me. There's no privacy anymore. Dallas Collis at gmail.com. The books are on Amazon right there. It's easy to find Facebook and Instagram and the usual places that we all pop up. And I want to honor you, Ansa.
Thank you.
Because you are a part of this revolution of democratic voice in the world. Podcasts allow people to share each other and to support each other. Yeah. And that is a fabulous thing you're doing, because it takes a lot of effort and planning and dedication and discipline, all those tools we've talked about. So I appreciate you for the work that you do.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Dallas.